All right, guys, we're back with part two. Now, I don't want anyone to attack these fan fiction writers. We're going to go into fan fiction here and talk about some of this critique stuff. So I was reading a fanfic, and it was called Blondie, and it was Full House fan fiction. It was a Jess story. Now, it was still enjoyable. However, the first thing was the writer kept the canon going with Becky and Jesse being there. In this story, Jess had a child at 14 with an OC character. I really wanted the OC and Jess back together and everything. Now, half siblings, I don't think is wrong. I've never experienced that myself because I have a good family life and stuff. But an example is like how Klaus and his siblings are there. But the stepmom thing doesn't really work for me in shows and movies and stuff, because you're loyal to like your dad and your bio mom, and it's like, does your stepmom really have authority to reprimand you? And it's like, you're not my mom, you don't have any authority to reprimand me. And it's the same way where it's like, if you're an uncle or an aunt, of that. And then there were furthermore, when your uncle is dating someone, that person is not your aunt until they marry them. And then I don't know why people go through stories like this, including in like One Tree Hill, and this is back, for example, why I critique shows and movies, why they have to go to the teen pregnancy type plot line and plot device and stuff. Now, One Tree Hill obviously is based off someone's life experiences. Now, going into this, the song Brother, now we don't share the same blood. You're my brother and I love you. That's the truth. Regardless, it's sharing a brotherhood of the people you grew up with. Now, I have an uncle, not by blood, because my dad and him are friends for a long time. And also, I'm not going to share the other stuff, but like we call him uncle. Basically, even if they're not your blood, you can find fatherhood, brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever, basically. Basically. In the end, though, I didn't really like the end of this story. Basically saying that Jess's daughter was his bio, and then lied about it, and her bio mom about it. But still, he says, regardless, you are my kid because I raised you. The relationships you made in family are true friends and family, not some DNA. Regardless, but still, I didn't like the story. And I don't really think it was okay. And this is examples of why. Be careful with fan fiction, guys. I've warned you before. Be careful what comments you say, because I don't want you to attack writers like this. I think they're good writers. I just don't want people to attack them and everything else. And I think it's okay to have critiques in shows and movies, but this is main reasons why I don't like the series and stuff. And as Marcel says, if you can't make family of your own, you find your own family. But hit that like button. I'll see you in the next part.